Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host, Rama Khalid. But we've got lots to discuss during the course of the show. So without further ado, these are the stories that will be in a discussion. We will begin with the Jarranwala incident in Faisalabad. I think you must have all known, read and watched by now how a violent mob of hundreds ransacked and torched 5 churches and of course on a supposed blasphemy allegation that has been brought forward, and that led to this mob torching 5 churches in Jarranwala. Not the first incident of this kind that has happened, but the reaction from the government and the different political parties has also been extremely strong. Also by the Foreign Office also the reaction has been quite strong, and from different religious organizations across Pakistan. We will be discussing the aftermath of this incident and what needs to be now done to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. Our second segment, ladies and gentlemen, concerns dialogue and diplomacy in the Middle East. A lot of positivity has emanated from both the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Islamic Republic of Iran after their rapprochement that was brought about by the mediation of China. And now there has been a joint meeting between the foreign ministers of both the countries, that is Iran and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is an extremely important step as far as the peace, stability in the region, in the Middle East is concerned, and that is what we will discuss, the different aspects of the outcome of this rapprochement between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Finally, we will be talking about Sutlej River. We all know that the water levels in Sutlej are rising as we speak. There has been a warning that has been given by the organization that is concerned with the floods in Pakistan as well. And we all also know that India time and again releases water into Pakistan because to prevent the outcome of floods in their own country. But this leads to a lot of issues, and a lot of people call this water terrorism. This is exactly what has happened in Sutlej. India has released more water in Sutlej, and that is why the water level in Sutlej here in Pakistan is increasing with every passing. I will be highlighting that in our third story. And of course, I think it's very important in this whole scenario, not only for the people in the low-lying areas to be extremely cautious, but to also follow all the precautions that have been put forward by the NDMA. Let's begin with our first segment, ladies and gentlemen, and that concerns the Jarranwala incident, the aftermath of the Jarranwala incident, and what needs to be done as far as this incident that puts a very sad spot as far as the minorities in Pakistan is concerned. To discuss that, we've been joined by Naveed Aman Khan. He's a senior analyst and he joins us in the studios. Thank you very much, Naveed Saab, to have joined us. Naveed Saab, a very unfortunate incident that happened in Jarranwala and this whole mob mentality that we have seen prevalent and that has led to a lot of unfortunate incidents has been again brought to the forefront. What, in your point of view, has led to this, and what should be done in order to avoid this in the future?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to apologize to the Christian community on facing such reaction from the mob, number one. Number two is this: there are many factors involved in such a reaction. The most important reaction is this, that this state has become hostage to the mobs and the religious extremists. Without going in the investigations, without going to know the realities and the facts, what has happened there, everybody has just rushed on the Christian community and they have destroyed everything they come in front of them. The churches, the houses, the personal or the private properties of the Christian community. They are our, Pakistani brethren and the sisters, and their properties and their lives and their honor is as sacred as the property and the life of every Muslim or any other Pakistani is sacred. So the constitution, the government, the civil society, all are responsible and all are equally important for everyone. Nobody is important more or to the others. So the communities, the Muslims are 98% of the population, but it doesn't mean that the 2% of the population are not important. They're equally important, and the constitution has given importance and security to their life and property as it is given to the Muslims of the
Now, Naveed,
the country.
what I'd like to understand from you, this mob mentality, you know, when mobs take it upon themselves to dispense justice. We've seen many an example in the past as well, and we saw this unfortunate example in Jarranwala as well. What are the teachings of Islam as far as this is concerned?
One thing is very important. The teachings of every religion are based on harmony, love, affection, and cooperation, tolerance. These are the basic fundamental teachings of every religion, and especially the divine religions are based on these teachings. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, the Pakistani society has gone in the hands of those who really manipulate or make the mind of the people. They maneuver the approach of the people. Like it is the prime responsibility of the ulama, these religious scholars, to keep the people calm, cool, and balanced. The people go to the mosques. There, the religious scholars need to teach them a very, very balanced attitude towards the society, towards the behavior, towards the dealing of different with the different communities. It doesn't mean that you just go, you just come across any rumor and you start retaliating. Number one. Number two, the people, they think that there is no law in the country. So they take the law in their hands. The law is there. If I would say if any such incident has happened in Jarranwala,
let the law take its due course,
yes,
instead of taking the law in your own hands.
They should have informed the police or the law enforcement institutions or organizations to take the matter in their in their due course. So they have not taken it and they have not informed it to the police, and they have decided to decide it on the own, on the spot, which is wrong. I mean, it shows that there is no writ of the state there. So the writ of the state should be enforced, and the government should be very, very vigilant, very, very confident, and very, very optimistic to crush such behaviors, such those who attack on the properties of the people should not be spared at all.
The one thing that I've also seen, Naveed Saab, is that our people are very emotional and they can be instigated very easily and very quickly. I'd like to refer to a case that has been put forward by the police, and the police have nominated Ahle Sunnat wal Jamaat Jarranwala President Mufti Muhammad Yunus Rizvi, Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan leader Sayyid Asifullah Shah in the case as well. They have also registered a case against 34 people, nominated 600 unknown under Article 18 section of the Pakistan Penal Code and Section 7 of the Anti-Terrorism Act. How important is it to make an example of cases such as these so that this is not repeated in the future?
They should be made an example, fairly reaction from the mob, and the same way the reaction from the state should come out. And they should be taught very, very strict lesson to those who perpetrated all this and who designed all this. I would say that the Quran's teachings are different. The Quran teaches harmony, tolerance. Even in the teachings of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is not allowed to rush on or to go and demolish the properties and to kill the non-Muslims. Even that time it was not done. And the Holy Prophet, he restricted the Muslims for going to such reactions, even by that time. And same is the teaching right now. So we are already facing a lot of problems in the world, and we have not earned very good name in the world in different subjects or in different ways. And this is a new thing which we are facing now, and the face which we have shown to the world is not very good.
Now, this is a very important point. You say the face that we are showing to the world. The Human Rights Day is coming. We know that the European Union and a lot of important other countries in the West put a lot of importance on the values of human rights, whether irrespective of the religion, despite what has happened in Sweden and other countries where the desecration of the Holy Quran has taken place.
That again was a very bad thing.
Exactly. So we have condemned that as well, but we have also condemned what has happened here.
It works both ways.
Exactly. The fact remains that as per a statement of the Punjab government spokesperson, the Jarranwala incident has been the result of a well thought out conspiracy. Doesn't it raise a lot of questions, Naveed Saab, at a time when Pakistan's relations with the West are improving, at a time when we are back on the good list of the FATF, when we are back with the IMF, that such incidents happen deliberately to tarnish Pakistan's image?
Definitely it is. There are two things which are very important. One thing is the report which the Punjab government is referring. If they have come across such report, they should have taken the things right timely. They did not take it as it should have been taken. Number one. Number two, the picture which we have portrayed in the entire world, like FATF is thing or the other matters are concerned, we are already suffering, and the entire world dislikes our such behavior. We need to improve our behavior, our attitude or our reactions which we show unnecessarily. We should be, behaving like a very balanced nation, very composed nation. But unfortunately, our nation is, genuinely.
But a lot of credit or discredit goes to also a certain political party and the way they have also manipulated the people of our country.
The country was already polarized, but the former government of Chairman PTI has really added polarization to this society. Everybody is now, full of hatred, and now that the tolerance level has come to the zero level. But one more thing which is very important as far as the statement of Army Chief is concerned, he has said that such behaviors will never be tolerated any longer or anymore, and the perpetrators will be taken to task, and they will be taught lesson according to the law and the constitution.
Both the individuals that apparently are behind the desecration of the Holy Quran have been arrested by the Counter-Terrorism Department. This has been confirmed by the caretaker Chief Minister Punjab, Mohsin Naqvi Sahab. The fact remains that we need to let the law take its own course and let justice prevail as far as if there is a proof of a desecration of our holy book. The fact remains that we cannot and should not take the law into our own hands, as has been the example in Jarranwala, as has been the example many a times. If you just look in the previous, earlier this month, the father was killed in Turbat in the south, province of Balochistan after being accused of blasphemy during a lecture. Then what happens in February, an agri mob snatches a suspect from the prison cell in Nankana and lynches him for allegedly desecrating the pages of the Quran. The fact is that our constitution is based on the injunctions of Islam. We should let the court and the justice and the different courts across Pakistan take the necessary course of action.
In fact, two things are important. One, the conditions of law and justice in the country are very weak. People know that if the perpetrator or the accused is spared, he will not be taken to the court of justice. So they decide to do by their own at the spot, which is very wrong. Number two, the religious scholars and the state should announce one thing very important, that nobody will react on such incident at the spot, or one who witnesses will inform the government or the law and order maintaining agencies. The government will take action on it. If the government doesn't take action on it, then we can raise question on it. But I think this should be made very clear to the entire country by the government and by the religious scholars, that nobody will attack or nobody will retaliate in such a way, even then if they come across such thing. I mean, there should be some fatwa on it or some decision on
Exactly,
it.
and we need to let the necessary
The government is
people who
there,
are in charge.
the
Yes,
government should take
exactly.
action.
Nobody has the right to challenge the writ of the state, and this is something that should be put across in black and white, so that such incidents don't
And
happen.
this way, the course of the state and the course of the law should work.
The Punjab government has decided to restore the churches. This has been confirmed by the Punjab government's chief minister. How important is that also?
Here, once again, I would say, it is very important to show solidarity, to show harmony, to show love, to show affection to the religious community. But one thing is very important. Those who are involved in such attacks should be asked to reconstruct those churches and those houses by themselves from their pocket. I think if it is done right now, nobody will attack in the future.
When they know that their money is involved.
Definitely. All the cars, the scooters, the houses, the churches which are destroyed by the mob, and they are arrested. Once they are arrested now, to 100 or more than 100, they are arrested because they are involved. They are not arrested from their homes. They are arrested from the spot. So they should be asked, come forward and construct this house for this person, construct this church for this community. I think never it will happen again.
That's an important point. I'd like to also refer to what the chairman of the Council of Islamic Ideology, Dr. Qibla Ayaz, recently said. He not only denounced the incidents, and that is of course very important coming from him, but he also highlighted the disconnect, and I would like to really highlight this disconnect between these actions and the core principles of religion, national laws and societal norms. Have we as a society or as a nation really gone below all of the standards that have been taught by our religion or by our laws or by our society?
Khalid, we have not learned lesson from the religion. The spirit and the message of the religion and Quran is different. These religious scholars have not taught us that spirit which is there in Quran's messages. Quran doesn't ask for such reactions. Quran doesn't ask for any sort of violence.
Look at the example of our Holy Prophet ﷺ, how he showed the example.
He was very tolerant and he was very calm and cool. He has never shown such reaction in his entire life, or his Sahaba Ikram has never shown such reaction in their lives. So the lives of Sahaba and Hazrat Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam are model for us. So we need to learn from that model. And the spirit of Quran should be learned, and which teaches us that we need not go for such violences, we need not go for such extremism. This Quran teaches us harmony. And we are, setting aside harmony. We are saying that any Christian, suppose any Christian or any non-Muslim has desecrated Quran, but the Muslims who reacted in this act, that is not the teaching of Islam.
Exactly.
Or that is not the teaching of Quran. So if they are desecrated, you are also desecrating. You're not, you're not honoring your Quran.
When we talk of blasphemy, when we talk of desecration, it is irrespective of religion, and it concerns all religions, including
any Muslim disobeys the teachings of Islam, it is desecration of Islam or Quran or Holy Prophet by themselves. So we Muslims need to act upon those laws or those principles which are very clear in Quran and in the teachings of Hazrat Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we need to learn that spirit which is hidden in Quran and its teachings.
But a lot of people will not learn, they'll have to be taught in the right manner in order to understand what the real norms of our religion, of our society, of our laws are. I'd like to refer also to something else that Dr. Ayaz said, and I think that's very important to highlight. He said acts of violence targeting individuals based on their beliefs or attempting to take matters into one's own hands due to alleged acts of religious blasphemy find no endorsements within Islam. How important is it to apply it in letter and principle?
2-3 things should be taken in mind. One, the enforcement of laws, the constitution in its true letter and spirit in the country, and it should prevail, it should be seen, it should be felt that the law is there in the country. Number two, the blasphemy is not a personal reaction. It should be decided by the state.
Of course.
It should be decided by the state, And
as per the relevant laws.
As per the laws are there in country. And our laws are very clear in the country.
Exactly.
We need not take any step by ourselves, and we need not challenge the writ of the state. I mean, when the people, they come to know that the writ of the state is very weak, they come forward and they take the steps such like they have taken in Jarranwala, which is very, very wrong, and which is clearly a message to the state that the writ of the state is weak. And from this incident to onward in future, many mobs will come out and do the same way.
So we need to
if
set
they are
an
not
example
taught.
right now so that this does not happen in the future. Last question, what in your point of view, Naveed Saab, are the practical ways of tackling extremism? Because I find this as an example of that, that go beyond cliches, condemnations, statements.
I mean, it is not a matter of condemnation only. We will have to go practically in the society. The role of the religious scholars is very, very important in this respect, because in every mosque, the Muslims they attend prayers or the Friday prayers in a very, very big number every week or every day. They need to focus on such things, and they need to bring love and harmony and cool attitudes in those who go to the mosques.
And you know, the responsibility lies not only on the government, it also lies in the hands of the local leaders.
And the civil society is very important.
Yes, exactly. All the the muezzins who are there, saying sermons on Friday, all over Punjab. This Friday, this was also said by the Chief Minister of Punjab, that the importance of tolerance was highlighted in all the khutbahs that happened in the Friday prayers, and that is what needs to be done. People need to be told what is right, what is wrong.
And the importance of media is very important in this as well. On media, the programs of harmony and love should be, as much as it is possible.
Tolerance, interfaith harmony,
yes.
that is the key word, and that is what our religion, that is what our Holy Prophet _sallallahu has taught us and this is something that has remained in all the books, and I fail to understand why certain sectors deliberately contort the teachings and show us an image of our religion that is contrary to what our Quran and our Sunnah says.
Khalid, the maximum dialogue should be initiated between the society, different segments of the society, different parts of the society. So the role and the character is very important of the think tanks. There should be think tanks, maximum think tanks in the society who should initiate the dialogues between the religions, the love and the harmony and the teachings of different religions.
True.
So the comparative analysis of different religion should be there. And you will come to know one thing which is very important. Every religion have the same, mythology.
Core values, exactly.
Core values, the mythology. So no religion asks you to go for alcohol or to kill any person or to abuse any person or to torture any person.
Societal values are extremely important.
These are the same.
And the fact remains that, all right, I understand the importance of desecration of the Holy Quran, but it should be followed as per the laws enshrined as per the teachings of Islam in our constitution, and let the law take its course instead of taking the law in your own hands. Thank you very much, Naveed Saab. I've taken a lot of your time. We have to go to the next story, so thank you very much, sir, to have come all the way to the studios. I hope a better sense prevails amongst our public, that the role of our religious leaders also becomes very important, that they let our people know what is right, what is wrong, and how to tread the line properly, correctly, so that after this time on earth, there is also an after a time where you will be judged for all the acts that you have done in this world. Thank you very much, Naveed Saab, to have joined us and to have talked to us about this very, very important incident. That we come to an end of today's newsroom. This is Friday, so of course we'll see you inshallah ta'ala on Monday with new story segments that pertain to us, you and Pakistan. Stay safe and have a great weekend. Allah Hafiz.